Hi traders, and welcome to the daily recap show. This is a delayed recap show for yesterday, the Thursday, the 2nd of December. Apologies, it's late, and apologies there was no zone report and analysis this morning. I had a day out with my twins for their second birthday, so apologies, this is a bit delayed, but we're going to go over Thursday's action and see what happened in comparison to our report. So with the FTSE, we stated we're in a range between 69.90 and 7,000 and 71.60 to 71.72, and that we needed to see the break of that because other than that we were just in a chop zone. So below 69.90 to 7,000 open up moves to the key zone at 68.20 to 68.35, and above 71.60 to 72 we could see a move back into the chop zone above. We'll see a move to 71.98 to 72.08, and then above there it was back into the chop zone from before. So let's go and have a look and see what the market did yesterday. Okay, so on the FTSE you can see we never really got to the outer edges of the range, and we were very much just chopping around in the middle of that range. So not really too much in terms of what I would consider high probability setups. You can see we got this really strong impulsive move through, which then held this zone on a retest at the open. So that sort of suggested a little bit higher pricing, and we come down and we did get a reversal signal here off that zone again. We did then come down and we broke through. We then had the impulsive move back up, held it support, but then again got another follow through here. We then got this really strong impulsive move up, and if you'd seen another corrective pullback into this zone, I wouldn't have minded along in this sort of area here, but as it was, we just sort of chopped and held this resistance. So this here earlier on in the session is probably the only trade that, or setup that really sort of was valid. I personally wouldn't have taken it myself. Again, like I say, it's not high probability for me, it's just chopping around within the middle of the zone. So I was expecting a little bit more volatility this week. Maybe it's just after last week's sell-off. Maybe it's been due to the fact of the NFP this week as well, but we haven't seen as many opportunities as I would have liked and as I would have expected. But when that happens, you just got to do what the market shows you, and if it's not showing you anything, it's best really just to wait for the right setups, which I'm sure will come along. So with that being said, let's go and take a look at the DAX. So the DAX, we said we've developed in a range as well between 450 and 475 and 15,000 and 15,030, and we held the bearish tone below 735 to 755, but breaks above 450 to 475, then opened up towards 15,510 to 535, and then could see a move up towards that other zone at 735 to 755. And we said if we broke below 15,000, we then opened up a move to a key support zone. So let's go and have a look at the DAX action yesterday. Okay, so the DAX, much like the FTSE, didn't really offer any real high probability chances. It was still very much within the range, never got to the outer edges of the range, so still messing around in the middle of the range, which makes it a little bit more tricky to trade, but it was much cleaner in its action. As you can see, we opened up here on the DAX, and we went down to that zone, up to that zone, treated that as resistance, down to support, through that zone, held it as support, back up, down, held this zone as support, that zone as resistance, down through to this zone here, held this, and this probably here is the only sort of valid trade. I would have preferred for this to be more of a bullish candle, and maybe this second candle here was the one that you could have taken to move up. We then saw up to the zone above, back down to this zone, held it as support, back through, held it as support. You can see it was really generally pretty clean action on the DAX, but unfortunately not that much in the way of high probability setups. As I say, this one here is probably a bit like the FTSE. There was one sort of trade which looked fairly good, but again I would have preferred this one to potentially have closed more bullish and even above these overnight lows here as well, to have taken that one. So again, not many opportunities, still in the range. It stayed in the range on Thursday, and we'll see what opportunities we can get next week now that NFP is out of the way as well. Alright guys, I hope you found that useful, and I'll speak to you again soon. Cheers.